Buongiorno everyone, welcome back to Lineup Predictions. Welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV, where we will be discussing Newcastle United's starting 11 against Liverpool tomorrow afternoon's game, a 12:30 kickoff live on BT Sport against Liverpool at Anfield. 7th in the league at the minute, Liverpool. Just had to check that before. I wasn't sure where they were. I thought they were still pushing for top 4. I think they probably still are. I forgot to check the points, if I'm honest, but just to see them in 7th took us by surprise a little bit. I know they've been having a bad season, but Jesus, to be falling that far down. It's mad to look at Liverpool where they are. Obviously, they've had so many problems this season, and this isn't going to be one of them European Super League discussions. Like Renty spoke about that with AJT yesterday on the channel and on the Cop TV yesterday as well. So go and check them out for thoughts on the European Super Bullshit League. But Liverpool, they've had some long-term absentees, some big ones. I think Virgil van Dijk especially, he's still out, as well as Joe Gomez and Joel Matip, 3 of their main centre-backs. So they've had to have a makeshift centre-back, an entire defence for most of the season as well. I know Alexander-Arnold spent a bit of time out. Jordan Henderson's out with the minute. So that's the big news going into this game. They're the only ones that I've definitely ruled out. Van Dijk, Matip, Gomez and Henderson. Everyone else may be in contention. That is doubts with Nat Phillips, another one of the centre-backs who's been filling in for a lot this season, and another great youngster in Curtis Jones. They're 2 doubts, the others ruled out. Let's look at the team news for Newcastle then, and obviously our long-term absentees likely out for the rest of the season. Isaac Hayden and captain Jamal Lascelles are out. Fabian Schär, who was ruled out for the season. Brucey spoke highly of him last week, saying that he's been looking good. Now says this week, he's looking really good. He's back in training and he's expected to be back soon. He's out of this game, so he's definitely a rule out. You can put him alongside Hayden and Lascelles with being out, but next week, maybe. He will be back by the end of the season, guaranteed, hopefully, as long as he keeps on going the way he is and he doesn't pick up any other little niggly injuries as the season goes on. But yeah, Shark could be back for next week, but ruled out for tomorrow. Other ones who may see the season out are Ryan Fraser and Carl Darlow. They've both had operations. Darlow was a surprise exclusion from the squad last week, with Mark Gillespie taking his spot on the bench. Fraser had a little niggly injury since Scotland, since the international break. Had a great international break, but we haven't seen him in the black and white since. Brucey confirms that Fraser and Darlow are both having operations or have had operations. Fraser on his groin, Darlow on his knee, and they're both expected to be out for a few weeks, Bruce says, particularly on Darlow. Didn't give a time frame, just said a few weeks. With Fraser, could be about 3 or for the season, depending on how their rehab gets on. We're not too sure, but at least 3 weeks for them to potentially the season. A bit better news, though. Alan Saint-Maximin is okay. He picked up a little bit of an injury against West Ham. He gets fucking kicked about right, left and centre, Saint-Maximin. He's always picking up niggly injuries. You're always seeing him limping off the field, which you'd have to grit your teeth out when you see him limping off the field. You think, oh, please don't be anything serious. Thankfully, it's not. It is just a kick to the ankle, which he takes about 600 to per game. But yeah, he's okay. He's been all right in training this week. So Brucey confirms he's in the squad, as is Callum Wilson. He's okay, but they're still taking it a bit easy on Wilson. He's made 2 sub appearances in the last couple of weeks. I think about, was it 20 and 30 minutes or something he's had in the last couple of weeks. But Thursday, I think, was part of his rehab schedule to take it easy. So yeah, Brucey is okay. But will we see him in a starting 11 for the first time since, which game was it? Was it Southampton? Southampton a good few weeks ago, February, I think that was, end of January, start of February time. We haven't seen Callum Wilson in the starting 11. Maybe not see him again this week. We'll have to wait and see. So into the lineup prediction there then, guys. And look, I'm going to cut the bullshit. I'm just going to give it straight to you as it is. Unchanged. We're going to have an unchanged side, and I'll explain why. Starting from the back, Martin Dubravka, of course, he's my number 1 keeper. I'll be honest, I think he's looked a little bit shaky. He made some great saves since returning, replacing Cardalo. And he is the number one, quite clearly. But a couple of times he just hasn't looked very good. His distribution's been awful. Clearing the ball, it's been really, really poor. Goes out of play for throw-ins a lot of the time. It's really, really a concern. But he could be doing better in shot stopping. When he first came back, the game against Wolves was his first game back. Made a bit of a bad mistake. Just needed a stronger hand in that header from Ruben Neves, I think it was, got the equaliser. And last week, Diop's header. I know like he's pretty free, but he could have had a better hand to that. But obviously with Darlow out, and even with Darlow in, Dubravka's going to see the season through. That's why he was brought in the first place. He's not going to be taken out now, especially not when Mark Gillespie is going to be on the bench. The back three, Fernandes, Clark and Dummett, they've been great. They didn't really have all that much to test with against West Ham, which was a bit of a surprise considering West Ham have been in great form prior to our game. Jesse Lingard in the form of his life, Jared Bowen doing really well. But they just didn't really threaten as much as I thought they were. I think Fernandes, Dummett and Clark had a relatively easy game. Just had a couple of dodgy calls. Maybe Diop's could have been ruled out by VAR for offside. And the penalty, Jesse Lingard's penalty, it was unfortunate on Kieran Clark, really. Handball that was up in the air, but you know, I think it was a penalty, but I think it was a little bit harsh. Other than that, they had a relatively comfortable evening. And with Shaw and Lascelles still being out, Kraft came in before Fernandes was brought back fit, but was poor. So this is the only back three that we're possibly going to have. And I'm keeping the same team, the lineup, the formation, due to obviously unbeaten in 3. 2 of them very unexpectedly. The draw against Tottenham, didn't see coming. Burnley wasn't a given, but we had to win that game. Thankfully, we did. And West Ham, 4th in the league, didn't see that coming. So credit to Brucey or whoever's to credit for this, Graham Jones, whoever it is, I don't care. Well done, guys. We've been getting points that we didn't expect. Coming into a relegation battle, needed them. Like, I didn't expect them, and we're getting them. So that's why, for me, it's got to be unchanged. And 2 of the big heroes, I think, in this are Jacob Murphy and Matt Ritchie. Matt Ritchie especially. Brucey was bigging him up in his press conference this morning. Obviously, they had that little scuffle about a month or so ago. Looked like Matt Ritchie probably wouldn't play again after confronting Brucey. But that's the kind of guy Matt Ritchie is. He'll call it out. He'll call your shit. He'll call your bluff. That's the kind of person we need. Like, Lascelles were captains out for the season now, seemingly. Maybe back for the last week or 2, but most of the season anyway. Ritchie's the guy to step up. Shelvey's got the armband, undeservedly in my opinion. I'd rather have either Fernandes or Dubravka carry the armband over Shelvey, but Ritchie's a leader. He's passion and desire. It's everything that you want in a modern day footballer. Obviously, with the European Super League, we know football's fucking dying on its arse. Matt Ritchie's a dying breed of footballer. Like, he really is. Like, you don't really see players like him nowadays. And he's more than that. His delivery, his commitment, tackling, positioning, everything's been great. Like, for Willock's winning goal, West Ham at the weekend, it was a brilliant delivery from the left-hand side, pinpoint accuracy. And I don't know if you've seen the angle. Go back and watch the highlights if you hadn't noticed it. But when he whips the ball in, like from one camera angle, you can still see him on the left side of the pitch. As Willock goes up for the header, Ritchie's fucking doing this now. Ritchie's heading the ball in himself. Like, he just loves it, man. He fucking loves it. He's almost scored his own cross. That's the kind of guy Matt Ritchie is. And Murphy on the other side, I've just fucked my hair up there. And Jacob Murphy on the other side, he's the same delivery, pace on this side. Like, he offers just more than what we have at the minute. Like Kraft, Manquillo, I just think his delivery's second to none. Best we've got available for the right-hand side. He's pace up the wing, provides energy, everything that you could possibly want, helps cover at the back as well. So, them two are rooted in until there's any bad results or bad mistakes from either one of them. But at the minute, that's not showing up. So the back 5 and the goalkeeper are a given to me. That's just rooted. That's in concrete. Further forward then, and I'll explain why I've explained why I'm keeping it, but what I would maybe prefer to do, like, we're keeping it because we've been winning. We've been playing well, we've been looking good, and we've been picking up points where we didn't expect them to. So Shelvey and Sean Longstaff. Shelvey, like I say, he's not the captain. He's been doing okay. as he always does. He always has glimpses. He always has spells in games, but I just feel like for much of the game, he's just a bit of a passenger. He just doesn't really get involved as much as I would like him to. Like I say, he has his moments. A couple of times in a game, you think, good pass, good tackle, well tracked back, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. I just want to see more from Shelvey. He just disappoints me on a regular basis. But and now I know, like, he's the captain. He's the backup captain. He's not going anywhere. But it's Sean Longstaff. That's the one change that I would make for Joe Willock. But again, I understand it, and that's why I'm keeping it the same. Willock's been a great impact sub. Came on, got the equaliser against Tottenham, and the winner against West Ham. So maybe Brucey sees that as impact sub. If we need someone, fresh legs in the middle of the park, and Joe Willock's got great legs in the middle of the park, can get forward, chip in with goals, help on the attack. So that's why, like, I understand it, but I'd just rather say that from the start. I don't want to have to come back from either a losing position or a drawn position as we were against Tottenham and West Ham, respectively. But like, I get it. Like, Sean Longstaff, he's done okay in the first half. Some games pretty good, almost great, almost as good as he was in 2018, but still not that good. Then second half disappears. Energy is gone. Absolute passenger. So that's why I'd rather start with Joe Willock, because you know for 90 minutes he's going to be there. He's got the energy, he's got the legs, he's got it all, and he can score goals as well. Sean Longstaff just isn't committing enough for me at the minute. So that's one change that I would like to see, Joe Willock coming in for Sean Longstaff, but I understand if it is unchanged as I've got down. And the same going forward, Miggy Almiron, he's one that I would consider changing if Callum Wilson is really fit. But I think I've done it for the Burnley prediction. I had Almiron drop to my bench with Joe Linton and Saint-maximin as the wide players with Wilson up front. Almiron has work rate, second to none work rate. Can't knock that. But I just want to see more of him in terms of creation. I want him to get some more goals and get some more assists. And at the minute, he's just not doing that for me. But let's say his work rate's then with some players still unfit. Maybe he's not performing. Like we've had Carroll that was out for the last couple of weeks as well. So there's just more places available with Wilson and Saint-maximin still weren't fully fit. I understood it. And I'll be keeping him in again for the work rate with Callum Wilson on the bench. Gale, Carroll, Willock as well. So we've got a few more options on the bench if he's not really cutting the mustard that I would like to see. So Maximin, I hope he's okay. Hopefully he's fit enough to start. I think he should be, and fingers crossed that he is, because he's just way too important. We'll rely on him way too much, and hopefully he stays next season as much as anything. God, I dread to think. But, you know, I don't even need to talk about Saint-maximin. If you're watching this video, you know Saint-maximin. You know the score. He's a fucking talisman. He's unbelievable, Saint-maximin. So he starts if he's fully fit. And Julian will keep his place because I think he's been in decent form. Was it the week before the Burnley game? Not so good, but he got goals against Tottenham and West Ham. He's on good form. He's got great work rate, linking up the play. He's doing well. He's coming good for me, Julian. But again, you still just want to see that bit more. If Wilson's fully fit, if Almiron's chipping in goals and assists, then Julian hasn't got a place in the starting 11. Simple as that. He's a squad player. But yeah, at the minute, like I say, unbeaten in the last 3 games, 7 great points, 4 of them especially. So yeah, that's why I've got an unchanged team. And the bench will be unchanged from the West Ham game as well. That is Mark Gillespie, Javier Manquillo, Emil Kraft, Jamal Lewis, Jeff Hendrick, Joe Willock, Dwight Gale, Andy Carroll, and Callum Wilson. Thanks for watching, everyone. Let me know your lineup prediction. Put it in the comments below, along with a score prediction. I'm going to go with a cheeky 1-1. I honestly think we can get something out of this game. Like, Liverpool's been poor this season, especially at home. They won the last game out, but they lost 6 in a row before that, which is mad considering they hadn't lost a home game in about 2 years, I think it was, to lose 6 on the bounce. So they've won 1 in the last 7 games at home. We've been playing quite well recently. We drew against them at St. James's Park in a fantastic defensive performance in December, I think it was, around about Christmas time. So if we'll go at them again, like the way we've been playing, just keep going. Fresh legs off the bench in Willock and Wilson. I honestly think we can take something. If we can get a point out of it, again, it's going to be another point that wasn't expected. That would be 8 in the last 4, 5 of them, which we wouldn't have expected. So if we can take a point from Anfield, I'll be over the moon. So let me know your thoughts, guys. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Come back tomorrow afternoon for the watch along. Me and Renty will be here. Thanks for watching, everyone, and enjoy yourself.